This is the review I've been waiting to do on the McNees Mac 2 PM Mac 2 PM precision machined. This is a 3.5-inch blade knife, and the handle's not that much longer. This is one of the best blade to handle ratio knives that I own and seen. I mean, the blade has always got to be smaller than the handle because you have the pivot, right? So it's always going to be no longer than from the pivot to the end. But for whatever reason, this is just a great size. So this thing in the hand, it just fits perfect, right? It's not longer than it needs to be, and it's not shorter than it needs to be. And my finger just like falls right there at the tip. So this is just a compact, perfect knife. It's almost like the SIG 365 of the knife world in my mind, where just a great carry size and practical blade geometry and length for a lot of things, right? No knife is going to be perfect, but this one kind of hits a lot of good spots. All right, so what are some of the bad things about this knife? Well, I mean, the one thing I could say, the biggest bad thing about this knife, it is a guillotine, basically. So when did you see I let go of that lock bar and how that knife just came, coming down? I think it tagged me already once. Earlier I was playing with this knife. This knife has tagged me 2 times. They've got phosphor bronze washers. When I say they, some aftermarket person has them. I have not messed with it yet. I haven't really carried this knife a ton because I'm getting a lot of knives and carrying something for a week or two and then moving on to the next one. And plus it's that guillotine thing there, so I've been a little hesitant. But I just love this knife. All right. When I first got this knife, my first impression of it was I hated it. All right, so I'll tell you the story. So I'm watching, I go on to DLT Trading, their website, and looking around at their new releases, and this thing popped up like in 5 more minutes, this thing was going to go on sale. Well, that was the first time I ever saw a drop happening. And which is recently, right? I've only been to knives about 6 months, but I just never caught a drop like that. Anyway, so I saw this thing. I knew nothing about it. I saw it was titanium, whatever. It was magna cut, and it had a hollow grind. So that was what made me decide, to get it. But anyway, so I bought it, and when it came, I was expecting the world, because this thing was like $565. I ain't gonna lie to you. So it's not cheap. So it came, and I picked it up, and then I ran into this thing. This is a pocket clip, right? But I mean, there is absolutely no ramp to that. When you get this in your pocket, I have to just basically, hold this thing and pull it up as I slide it into my pants. So that was really annoying. And then this thing is so sensitive to lock bar pressure. I mean, you got to make sure your fingers are nowhere near this lock bar to open it up. So, but it shoots out like a laser. Like if you do this thing right, check this out. I mean, I don't know if you capture that in this video, but that is about the smoothest action that I've had of any thumb stud knife that I own. I own a few knives too, and this is just really that good. Check this out again. Well, I mean, another great thing about this knife, the geometry of this blade is just really good. It's thick all the way to right here. I mean, it carries its thickness toward the very end of this blade. So you have a very stout tip to it, and you've got this amazing hollow grind that this knife is razor sharp. It is, I talked about how razor sharp the Curtis custom knife is. This is on par with that. This is just a crazy level of sharpness in this blade. It's just so perfect, quite honestly. One of the things I love, I'm a very textured kind of guy. I like the way things feel, like how it weighs, how it feels. This area right here in this knife is just, it's just perfection. I don't know how to put it. It's smooth to the touch. It's, I don't know. The opening is just perfect. There's no hot spots or anything. And when you go to close this knife, and as this knife closes, and you gotta be real careful because this is a guillotine. One of the things about this knife is this lock bar raises when the knife gets past the detent ball. It raises to a perfect level to the rest of the knife. I mean, it's just literally just a perfectly machined, balanced knife. Look at that. So this is definitely an everyday carry knife. It's got great geometry in the blade. It's got, you know, it's hard to call these things hard to use knives because this hollow grind gets pretty thin toward the edge here, and that's why this thing is a great slicer. But as a piercing tool, it should be a very good piercer because of just how thick that thing, how it carries its thickness all the way toward the end, and then it has this amazing grind that will just you know pull apart the material it's cutting into. It's just incredible. So like I said, it's got some skeletonization inside the titanium, so it's a little lighter weight. I forgot the weight of this knife, but it's certainly not very heavy at all. All right, so that was my first impressions of this McNees knife. Please like and subscribe to my channel. That like button really helps the algorithm, so please help me out. All right, talk to you guys later. Bye.